Hey, Marc, Millan here. Thank you for letting me be a part of your day. Today I wanted to talk about a leadership topic I think can help you as you lead your team. Maybe you're leading a staff. Maybe you have non-paid staff. You're part of a nonprofit, or maybe you work for a church and you have volunteers, people that give up their time and their talent. And I think this can really help you. It's called the 4 elements of trust. And I want to give you 4 things to think about and review, because I believe as a leader, one of the most impactful things that you have with those that you lead is their ability to follow your leadership, right? If we are leading, but we don't have anyone really following, if we're heading towards a vision or a mission, but people aren't going in that direction, then that's an indication to us that our leadership is not having an impact and that we're not essentially influencing people towards change. And really great leadership is influence. Anybody can force anybody to do anything. If you have authority, you can mandate stuff, but that doesn't really equate or translate to leadership, because leadership is about building others up. It's about involving other people, serving people, and then getting them to march towards and buy into an idea that leads to an alternate future. So I know those are some philosophical ideas there, but that's kind of the premise of what I want to talk about today. So let's jump into it. The 4 elements of trust. You can write these down. Maybe you can look at them and review them to see maybe perhaps which one or which ones you can begin to work on today. So the first one is ability. The first one is ability. When people are looking towards a leader that they want to follow or that they're going to follow, they're going to look at their ability. And this is their expertise, the results that they have provided in their season of leading, their effectiveness. We would call this the area of competence. Is this leader competent? When people talk about their contribution, are they able to say that they have expertise in it, they know what they're talking about, they bring about results, so they're not just in a title or a role, but they're actually bringing about positive results, right? They're productive in the area, and they're effective. You know, you give them responsibility and they're effective. They kind of give you a return on your investment. So the first one that is part of this 4 elements of trust is ability. They will look at our ability as leaders, our effectiveness, our results, and our expertise. The second one is believability. Okay, so the first one is ability. The second one is believability. Is the leader someone who acts with integrity? Does the leader show honesty? Honesty when they fail, honesty when they don't know things, honesty when things are difficult to talk about. A lot of times for leaders, the temptation is to hide the difficult things or avoid talking about the difficult things, but I can tell you, you will gain trust when you are honest with your team. When you're honest about your shortcomings. Hey guys, I messed this up. Hey guys, it was my responsibility to reach out to you and I didn't do it. I'm sorry. Honesty goes a really, really long way. Values. The believability about the leader's values. Do they have a center? Do they have a moral compass that keeps them tethered to their convictions? Or does the leader kind of change what they believe constantly just to chase after success? So believability is also tethered to the person's values. And I would also say their ability to execute or demonstrate fairness. Now, not all situations are fair. So I don't want to misinterpret this word, but try to view fairness as a way of the leader exercising objectivity. Does the leader have the ability to hear things from both sides to come to a fair conclusion? Or do they automatically come to conclusions quickly without getting all the information? So fairness, honesty, the values. Does the leader act with integrity? These are the things that contribute to number 2, which is believability. Okay, number 3, connection. The ability to connect. So do they really care about others, or are they using others to accomplish their goals? People can feel this and sense this right away, right? The difference between manipulation and influence really is that when I'm manipulating a person, I'm getting them to do something that I want for me. But influence is getting another person to do something that's good for them or good towards the mission that we are a part of. So connection, do we really and genuinely, does the leader genuinely care about others? Do they have a heart for benevolence, which is just, the well-being of another person? For example, that might be so vague. Let me make it a little simple. For example, if a person can't do something because their schedule is overwhelmed, they got stuff going on with their family, the simple things, their car broke down, they got a flat tire. Do those things trigger care, or do they trigger kind of judgment? Man, you're always late, you're never here, or man, I'm so sorry you're going through this. Absolutely, I understand the situation. What can we do to help you? So that's what I mean by benevolence. Rapport building. Do they genuinely talk with their team to connect? Or are they just talking with the team because they know that they have to do it? People can sense this sort of thing. Communication, is the communication transactional? I'm telling you something to give you information, you're telling me something to give me information, and that's all we ever talk about when we're kind of with each other? Or does the communication kind of flow more naturally heart to heart as persons? This is very, very easily felt and experienced with team members. So number 3, connection is huge. Our ability to care for others, and that connection is the third element of trust. And then the fourth element of trust is dependability. Do we honor commitment? For example, if we start a meeting at 8 o'clock, does it start at 8 o'clock? Do we honor those who came at 8 o'clock? Or do we honor those who decided to come 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes after 8 o'clock? These are the kind of things that people will take notice of. Are we dependable? Are we people of our word? Do we honor our commitments? If we say we're going to do something, do we come through with it? Do we own it if we can't come through with it? This is dependability. Reliability, the consistency of my contribution every time I show up, right? I've been part of a worship team for many, many years, so it's my responsibility to always show up prepared, knowing what I'm supposed to do, what I've been assigned to do. Reliability is one of the ways you build trust. In fact, if you want to start somewhere, start by being a reliable person. If you say you're going to be there, if you say you're going to do something, if you're going to deliver something, you got to do it, and you got to do it all the time, over and over again. Reliability builds the equity of trust. Accountability. This one's hard, but this one is so important because we're talking about dependability, number 4, right? Accountability means that you can hold me accountable for things that I said I would do, but that I didn't do. And I'm not going to get defensive about it. I'm going to own it and say, you know what? You are right. I said I would have this to you by Friday and I didn't. I'm sorry. Let me have it to you by Saturday or Monday. That accountability piece builds and maintains the trust factor with those that you're leading and serving. And then responsiveness. How would I define this? Responsiveness is my ability to be responsible with the things that I have to do. So I'm not going to leave someone else on the team abandoned because I've accomplished my own things. Think of a sports team. So a lot of times people are in certain positions on the field, but every once in a while something happens on the field that people have to shift and support in another area. Responsiveness is kind of my action to help the situation, to help the vision. It might not be my direct responsibility, but I feel responsible for the success of the team. So responsiveness, how I respond to different situations, last minute requests, those sort of things build up the equity in this area of dependability. So let's review them real quick. The first one is ability. They're looking at our ability to produce results, effectiveness. This is a competence area. The second one is believability. Am I demonstrating values and honesty? Do I have good judgment? Do I act with integrity? Number 3, connectedness, my ability to care for people, how I communicate, the rapport I build in the relational side. of the team. And then number 4 is dependability. Am I reliable? Do I show up and always contribute? Can I be accountable when I don't bring things to completion? Do I help the mission stay accountable to its course? And will I respond when things change or things become last minute? These are the 4 elements of trust. I believe that they are critical in your influence as a leader. And if you're starting to have a breakdown with your team or the people you're leading, I would start by looking at one of these 4 areas: ability, believability, connection, or dependability. One of those areas will reveal to you where you're sort of having this kind of breakdown in trust, and you can start working on it and rebuild trust, because we both know that trust is the equity of teams, and teams move at the speed of trust. So I give you a lot to think about. I hope it helps. I hope you jotted some things down. Maybe you can go back. And I want to ask you, if you love the content, go ahead and like it and share it. It would really mean a lot to me. It helps kind of get the word out for some of these things that can help leaders in their own leadership and influence. That's all I have for you today, from my heart to yours.